really gotta be here for this? Oh no. I appreciate you messing up. Matter of fact, keep messing up. I don't want to be here for this. Oh god. No, you keep messing up. I could just pretend technical issues, you know? Oh, okay, so we're just directly having problems now? I just say technical issues, right? I just lie. Hold on. Let me put this on. Wow. The lights are just changing right now. As I'm fixing this whole sequence. Could go with something else, but who knows? Maybe we just go with this. Chill out for now. Probably could. Or we can go with this. It's a lot better. Ah, man. Why? What is this? What is this? We only may not be. I don't. What? I don't really. Are there? I don't know. What the hell's been going on here? This game stinks. Buffalo, get your crap together. You're the only hope in the AFC. Look at the Chargers. They lost two straight. Broncos are not. Man, Kansas City's going back to the Super Bowl, bro. This is ridiculous. Nobody else can be trusted in this wicked conference. This conference is supposed to be warned. Everybody's folding. Oh my God. I don't care if it's a divisional game. Y'all 4-0 for a reason, bro. There's no way the Patriots should be even competing with this team. Stop trolling and get it done. So help me God, they lose this game. I give up on football, bro. Be joking, bro. I'm not watching another year the Chiefs just freaking walk their way to another championship because they're more competent than everybody else, even when they have the issues. Somebody better step up and do something, man. This is ridiculous. Why are they at the what? Oh nah, bro. This is crazy. Oh my God, they're gonna score a touchdown here. They're gonna score a touchdown before halftime. The Patriots are going to take the lead before halftime? There's no way, dog. This is ridiculous. There's no way, dog. You got to be freaking. You got to be kidding me right now. There's no way. There's no way. Wow. Anyway, let's see here. Let's get this way, bro. They're really about to take the lead before halftime? Nah, bro, this is crazy. Give me a second here, guys. You know I usually have to do a few things here. They're gonna screw this up. They're gonna screw this up. There's no way they score a touchdown here. I don't care what you gotta tell me, man. They're letting this clock run down, and there's a timeout. Because they don't want to give Josh Allen any chances. Is this in Buffalo or New England? I think this is in Buffalo. God, they have all these home games, man. I don't even feel like they play outside of Buffalo. They really got all these damn home games. Jesus, good lord. All right. Let me see. 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 There's nobody open. Incomplete. There is no way in hell they're getting this off. They got one more chance. There's no way they're getting a touchdown here. I don't believe it. I don't believe they're getting a touchdown here. There's no way. There's no way they're getting a touchdown here. I gotta see this before halftime ends, before we get started. Talking about the Ravens. Yeah, that you have a chance there. Drake May just can't make that throw. Oh, never mind. The ball got tipped. The ball got tipped. Oh my goodness. 3rd and goal here. Here we go. Can the Patriots get in the end zone before halftime? Flag. False start. That's gonna make this even tougher because you're at the 7-yard line. You're going to the 12. Good Lord. We are going to get started soon. I need to give myself a little bit of time here before we do, ultimately. So I'm just trying to get myself ready here before we get started. I'm just waiting to see how things are going to happen here halftime wise, because I am pretty sure the Bills defense is going to make a stop here. They're just going to blitz him. Oh my God, here comes the pressure. He's got time. Flag. There's a flag. Pass interference. You got 4 seconds left in the end zone. You can go for this. You go for this. Yeah, I have. I'm streaming again. I basically have to speak on the Ravens just briefly here. I did say I was going to speak. I'm not going to be here for long. It's just something brief. And then we'll be here tomorrow for the therapy session. So tune in tomorrow for the therapy session. But we do have to briefly talk about the Ravens right now because things have been very chaotic post game. A lot of people, there's been a lot of emotions that are being shared right now. And I feel like I have to, speak something here. I'd go with a quarterback sneak. You're at the half-yard line here. I'd go with a quarterback sneak. It's 4 seconds left. You got to get something quickly. 4 seconds left. You got to come with something quickly. It's 4 seconds left. Here we go. They couldn't get it. It was there. You got to settle for three. 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 I dare you to not bring out the field goal kickers. You got to settle for three. It was there. Hunter just has to get himself settled and make the catch. It was there. You had the Bills defense dead to right there. You had it. That's tough. That is really tough. That is really tough. This game sucks. 19-yard field goal kick is up and it is good. And I guess the Patriots will take a 3-point lead with them into halftime. Who got the ball first? Let me check. Buffalo gets the ball coming at halftime or Patriots? Let me see. See play by play. Who got the ball? Oh, yeah. Buffalo's getting the ball coming out of halftime. So they actually did need to make a stop here just before halftime. You didn't want to give up anything here. Anyway, I don't want to be here too long. So it's time to get started. Let's say our piece about the Ravens in terms of what I want to talk about here. I'll probably also speak about this when I um, make my video about this tomorrow. That will quote unquote be my recap, but it'll more so be speaking in regards to the Ravens in terms of where they are as a football team. Because when you look at them right now, man, everything is technically here. I got a shot. I'll put up another one. So, yeah. All right, guys. Welcome, everybody. I was initially gonna make a video, but I feel the need to make a little bit of a stream here just to speak on this as well as get your thoughts about this. So I'm gonna mute this because it is halftime, and I'm not gonna be here for as long as I need to be. So, the Ravens lost badly today. They lost 44-10. An absolutely humiliating loss. The Ravens defense has been nothing short of humiliating, nothing short of embarrassing, nothing short of disgraceful. It's been all the emotions, man. It's been all the emotions. And if you look at how things have gone so far, it's been so terrible. Just to speak of a few things here. Let me pull this up here. The Ravens right now are on pace to allowing the most points given up by a team in NFL history. They're on pace to doing that. They're on pace to giving up the most amount of points any defense has given up in the history of football. They are well on pace. They are well on pace. The Ravens also are ranked dead last in damn near every defensive statistic. It's pretty bad. To make things even worse, they let C.J. Stroud have a career game, excuse me. Um, he actually had his he he had a career high in a rushing yard attempts because he rushed for what? Let me see. I think he rushed for 33, which is the most he's rushed in a football game since his time in college. So career high for him there. Also, he had a career high in completion percentage because I believe he completed 85% of his passes. I mean, there was zero concerns from him. Just pulling up some of the stats right now just to look at things. C.J. Stroud completed 85% of his passes today, which is a career high for him. He also had that career high 30-yard rush, which is the highest career rushing in a game in terms of in the NFL because he hasn't done that since college. Besides that, just looking at it, C.J. Stroud 23 of 27, 244, four touchdowns, no interception. QBR of 99.3, pass rating 143.9. C.J. Stroud hasn't looked like this since his rookie year. That's what the Ravens gave up, career highs and everything except touchdown passes. Um, they gave up 167 rushing yards, so they're really not stopping anything. They can't stop the pass. They can't stop the run. They did not. They actually got no. They didn't. Let me see. Let me see. They somehow got two sacks on C.J. Stroud. One was from Kyle Van Noy, someone that actually gives a damn. But other than that, the other was from Trent Simpson. I don't know how, but it happened. Other than that, yeah, defense was a putrid. Meanwhile, offense, Cooper Rush probably played as poor of a game as you could get. 14 to 20, 179, zero touchdowns, three picks, QBR of 29.2, pass rating of 58.1. We also rushed for 44 yards. Derrick Henry had 15 carries for 33 yards. I mean, it's just bad. Zay Flowers with 72 receiving yards. Zay Flowers is still technically doing his job, but like everything looks bad. Everything looks bad. Right now, the Baltimore Ravens are playing terrible, terrible football. And I said it a few weeks back. I said that this team does not play like a football team. They don't even look like a team. I said the Baltimore Ravens are a collective group of talented individuals that have no idea how to operate as a proper team. They don't play like a team. They don't act like a team. They don't even look like they want to be on the same team with each other. The Ravens look completely checked out. The players look checked out, and they also look tired of the coaches. The coaching staff at this point, I don't know what to say about them. I also tweeted something a little bit earlier, and I think this makes perfect sense to me. Uh, Zachary Orr has been horrible as a defensive coordinator. Zachary Orr, the player, would be absolutely disgusted with Zachary Orr, the defensive coordinator. I mean, this guy's doing nothing right. He's doing nothing right. But that's beside the point. From what I saw today, I don't think I can blame the coaching staff for today's loss at all. We suck. We need a tank. We need a new coach. We need a defensive coordinator. Case closed. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that. I didn't even watch the game. I don't blame you for not watching the game. I'm a Steelers fan. What do you think the chances are? Steelers going to win the division, dude. This team's done. The Steelers are going to win the division. That's chances of you winning the division. 95%, I guess. You have so many injuries because the coaches didn't get the players in shape in the preseason. I guess. I mean, these are a lot of soft tissue injuries, and they were already dealing with that issue. They were already dealing with that issue heading into the season because they were dealing with a lot of minor issues during training camp. But I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing I could specifically say in regards to that. You know, I'd love to speak more on that, but I don't have anything specifically to say because I mean they were already dealing with injuries to an extent. Um, they were already dealing with injuries to an extent. It's not like this really changed anything major because they already had the problems. It's just now that the season started and they're actually playing in these quote unquote physical games because they haven't really been physical like that. Now that they're doing that, it's kind of a different aspect to look at here. But it is what it is when it comes to the Ravens. There's nothing we can do about it. Right now, the Ravens don't play as a unit. In terms of that Steelers fan that was asking, you guys have like a 95% chance of winning. The Bengals aren't going to win anything without Joe Burrow. The Ravens are the Ravens right now that look horrible. And Cleveland's always been Cleveland. You've never really worried or complained or had any concerns about Cleveland because Cleveland was never a threat to you. And Cleveland will remain to not be a threat. So you don't have any real worries if you are the Steelers, you just got to keep playing competent football. You don't even have to be great. You just have to play competent football and you'll relatively be fine. So keep doing what you're doing and you'll be okay. That's all that really has to be said. Now, come on. Sorry, I'm just, it's been a long day. I'm just kind of going through some responses here. One. All right, man, we're not even trying anymore. Oh, boy. Okay, so hold this for a second. Everyone trying to get something out of this, and I'm trying to see if you trying to do something too. But yeah, we're not in a good situation right now. As I'm trying to do some stuff here, we are not in a good situation at all right now. Things are absolutely terrible. I already spoke about this and told you guys the Ravens right now are not a football team. I said this a few weeks back. They're not a football team. They're a collective group of individuals that are talented but don't actually know how to play like a team. And right now, you are seeing that they don't know how to play like a team. Oh, look at this nonsense. Okay, I'm going to just do this. They don't know how to play like a team. I don't know what else to tell you. They don't know how to play like a team. What am I looking for here? Okay, this is no. What are we looking for here? Let me see. Okay. Worst team in franchise history? One can argue, one can actually argue that that is the reality of the situation because with the way these guys have looked, I don't remember a time where they look like they've given up. And I'm going to speak a little bit more on that. I just got to get this out the way. Sorry, I hate having to handle things on the fly when crap like this is happening, but it is what it is. I'm going to try to handle it as best as I can. Okay. 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 And then where's he? That. And then, oh man. Hmm. I think that's where the problem came in. You tried to put that in. How'd you get him for that? Oh, no, man. Okay. Let's see that. And then, okay. Trying to handle all this on the fly is annoying. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to answer this. I knew it was going to be a problem as soon as I started. Because it's always a problem. I will get back to this soon. Just have to ultimately, let's see. Oh, okay. So, ooh, so I can, okay, that's how that's gonna be. What? All right. I think that one should be handled. Honestly, I should probably just handle this afterwards. I'm gonna be realistic here. That's why it was able to be something because this man's still crazy. Okay, I see. I see. I see. I see. I see. I see. And there he is. So, there's that. Hold on, let me handle this first, and then we can go. Sorry for the obstruction here, guys. This wasn't in the game plan here, but ultimately things kind of went this way. It is what it is. You kind of just deal with however it can be dealt with. So let's get this out the way. Okay, we'll do this, and then I could definitely do this. Why did this have to happen now while I'm in the middle of something? Like it's really annoying. Really annoying to have this happen right as I'm in the middle of something. You know, I would just like start something like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this, and it's just like, nope. Let's get something. Just distract the person while they're trying to do something. That's so fun, right? It's so fun to have to deal with this. Okay, that's with that. Let's do that without that. Let's do this, that, okay, and then let's do this. And that. Okay, I think. Let me see. Please tell me I'm good so I can get back to doing what I was doing. Please let me know if I'm good. Please let me know if I'm good. Okay, I think we're good. I think we are good. I think everything is a okay. Um. Oh God. Um. Okay. Wait. See. Take this on. All right. Good Lord. All right. I think we're good. We're good. Oh. Wait. Wait. Come on. Just please. All right. We are good. We're good. We're okay. Okay. Now we can get back to this. So what I was trying to say before I was having to deal with that whole situation is that the Ravens right now don't play like a football team. They don't play like a unit. They don't play like a group of individuals that actually are coming together for the collective sakes of winning a game. They don't look like they're on the same page at all. And they don't look like they're on the same page. And I think part of it has to deal with the level of frustration of these guys really not having the chemistry and not being on the same page. But I think more so it has to deal with the coaching. I think it has to deal with the coaching. And I'll speak more on this in my video a little bit later, probably tomorrow. But I think we have reached the point. Did you for anybody that watched the game, did you actually see how the Ravens players actually looked out there? For anyone that watched this game, did you see how they looked? Did you see how they played? There was no heart, there was no passion, there was no effort really being played. Those guys went out there and played like a group of individuals that were just going through the emotions. They were just going through the motions. They did not care. I didn't see an ounce of care from the unit as a whole. There were some players that cared out there. Kyle Van Noy cared, but he's one player. I don't think most of these guys cared. I didn't see the care. I didn't see the passion. I didn't see the enforcement. I didn't see the energy. These guys looked like they did not care about this game, and that made me think that these guys are truly broken as a unit. But that also makes me think that we finally reached that point. And I'll speak more on this tomorrow, but I think these guys have officially given up on the coaching staff. I don't know if there's anything you need to look at to really, emphasize that, but with the way these guys played today, they look like they've given up on this coaching staff. I think the players are done with this coaching staff. And that starts with Harbaugh. I think they're done with John Harbaugh. I think they're beyond done with Zachary Orr too. You can't play the way the Ravens played today and expect anyone to believe that these guys are still locked into the message that Harbaugh's been sending. Are we supposed to believe these guys are locked into the message? Are we supposed to believe these guys actually are listening and really taking in the words that Harbaugh and this coaching staff are really speaking on? I don't think that's actually what's happening here. I don't. I think these guys are checked out. They are sick and tired of this coaching staff. They no longer care. That message no longer rings. Whatever message Harbaugh's been emphasizing, it no longer rings in the locker room. It no longer holds any weight. I think these guys are done. They are done with John Harbaugh. They are done with this coaching staff. They no longer hear the message that the coaching staff is trying to enforce at all. At all. They don't hear anything. They don't hear anything. They don't hear anything. And that's a big part of why I don't believe the coaching staff really should be held accountable today for today's loss because there's nothing the coaching staff could have done. I don't blame today's loss to the Texans on the coaches. I don't. There's if you have a group of individuals that have given up on you and no longer listen to what you say, then it doesn't matter what you do as a coach out there. If the players aren't listening, if the players aren't taking your words seriously, if they're not taking your message to heart, if they're not rallying behind the coach, there's nothing the coaching staff can do. There's nothing the coaching staff can do. We watched the San Francisco 49ers on Thursday Night Football, an undermanned San Francisco 49ers team took on the LA Rams, their divisional rival that was healthy with Stafford and Adams and Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams. That Niners team took those guys on and won. An undermanned Niners team took those guys on and won. In that game, we saw what coaching means. We saw what coaching emphasizes. We saw what coaching represents. We saw the importance of coaching in that game. That was real coaching. Real coaching by Kyle Shanahan. You don't have that here in Baltimore. These guys don't listen to what Harbaugh's saying anymore. They don't even take in what Harbaugh's saying anymore. They don't. The message is no longer being heard. They don't listen to what he says. They don't care about what he says. They're not emphasizing anything of what he says. The players have given up on the coaching staff. So today's loss wasn't on the coaches, specifically because there's nothing they could do. They've lost the locker room. And once you lose the locker room, you can't get it back. You can't get it back. They've lost the locker room. They've lost the locker room. They've literally lost the locker room. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't get it back once you lose the locker room. It's a wrap. It's a real wrap. And there's nothing you can do about it. So it's over. I need to let you know it's over for the Ravens this year. Unless serious changes are made, they cannot salvage the season. And unless they're going to rely on Lamar to save them for the 15 millionth time, they have no chance to make the playoffs. This is a broken unit that is led by a coaching staff that's incompetent, that has a group of players that don't even buy into their message anymore. There's nothing left to say. The Ravens, they're a broken unit. And the only way to start to fix this problem is by making a change. Now, I don't believe it's everybody in the coaching staff that they've given up on. I think it's primarily the head coach and the defensive coordinator. That's it. That's it. I just think they've given up on the head coach and a defensive coordinator. That's it. That's it. I think they've given up on John Harbaugh, and they've certainly moved on from Zach Rule as a defensive coordinator. You can actively see it in their body language and how they're acting out there. So I look at this team and I think they are a broken unit. And that's the end of the day. That's really just it. I think they're just a broken unit that can't be fixed unless significant changes are made. Unless significant changes are made, they are going to be a broken unit. And that's how it is. Let me check some of these comments here before we try to continue on. Let's see here. This organization with the players are in a black hole in the twilight zone where they cannot recover. Yeah, it's a wrap with them. Give me a good reason why Lamar shouldn't ask to be traded in the offseason. And 2, will John be gone after the bye? 1, Lamar holds all the powers, so he can ask to be traded, or if he doesn't want to leave and he wants to get his contract extension, the biggest thing he can do is flex his power. He'll get paid 70 plus million next year if he doesn't sign an extension. He has all the power right now. So he can go to the front office and demand significant changes right now, especially with the coaching staff. And if they don't deliver on those significant changes, he doesn't have to sign an extension. So he has the power to change things right now if he goes into the office and talks to Steve and say, I want changes to be made now to salvage the season. And if you don't make these changes, I'm not signing the extension. I don't care what EDC gives me. So he could do that, but I don't know if Lamar is going to do that. And 2, will John be gone after the bye week? Hell no. John's not getting fired. You guys know he's not getting fired. Zachary Orr can't call plays. Dude, Zachary Orr, the player, would be disgusted by how Zachary Orr, the defensive coordinator, calls plays. Just disgusted. My favorite head coach is Dan Campbell. I'd run through a brick wall from him. That is a team that rallies behind their head coach. The Lions perfectly represent Dan Campbell's coaching style, and you see it by how they play. Worst team in franchise history? Well, at this point, they're heading towards that direction. We'll see. I don't understand how this defense is worse than last year, but I think it's because Pease helped him and they were playing bad offenses. But then again, they're getting destroyed by bad offenses anyway. Again, I don't think they started the season not being on the same page. Now I think they've just given up on the coaching staff. They don't care anymore. I agree we need a head coach with huge balls like Campbell. We need a difference. We need a real change in Baltimore for the head coaching position and defense coordinator. Man, I'm sad. Ravens are just so pathetic. It is what it is. You just deal with it. Rams are going to have fun next week. They're going to smoke this team next week. They look like they were done. Absolutely no energy. I agree. I'm at the point where I'm not mad or sad, just laughter. Everyone's at that point, buddy. They couldn't wait for the game to be over. Bro, they're just ready to get their checks and go home. They don't care anymore. Did you see the look Zay gave Harbaugh? Yeah, everyone's talking about that. Harbaugh said the effort was there, but the execution wasn't. What is he smoking? I mean, what else? I don't know what else he could say in these press conferences. He can't sit back and say, well, the team doesn't look like they give a damn, and it looks like they've given up on me. He's going to always give the generic answer because that's just what Harbaugh's going to do. Nothing you can really do about that. But yeah. John said he's not firing Zachary Orr, so it's up to EDC or Steve to do something. Like I said, he's right. John Harbaugh's right. Firing Zachary Orr isn't the answer. It's firing both him and Orr. So both of them need to go in order for things to change. Steelers going to win this Mickey Mouse division. They will, but they'll probably just lose in the wild card round like they always do. It is what it is. I think the AFC North has got to accept that they're not really the dominance in this conference anymore the way they used to be. I mean, what else is there to really look at? The Ravens underachieved. The Steelers underachieved when they had Ben. During the 2010s, they underachieved. And now they're in a situation where they're just putting anybody out there quarterback, which helps them win regular season games. But come playoff time, they're going to lose to the Bills or Chiefs. It is what it is. We know how things end for them. Welcome back to expansionism. I guess I think this is a Steelers fan that's just been running their mouth throughout the stream. They're free to run their mouth. Yeah, I think it's them because I see them a bunch of times here. Pittsburgh got the division on lock. Congrats. The division sucks. Take it. Um, let's see. Yeah, there's no effort that's happening. What coach would you want to go grab if you could? Dude, if you can bring Brian Flores here, I wouldn't mind it. If you could, but I doubt that's gonna happen. Steelers always start strong, then tank during the last 5 to 6 weeks. Dude, they can still do that and win this division. That's how bad the division is this year. There's nothing to hold on to at this point. 49ers was so impressive with that win, and Mac Jones went off that game. Shout out to the Niners for actually showing what a coach team or what a well-disciplined coach team can look like, even when they're down several players, including their quarterback. So things are very bad right now. Not this year. I mean, again, you guys will probably win this Mickey Mouse division, but you're probably going to lose in the wild card. And no, you're not going to get your 6. You can be a delusional Steelers fan all you want. Reality is going to set in, and when you guys don't win, I told you, Steelers fan, enjoy the last year of Aaron Rodgers because this is probably his last season. He decided to spend it with the Steelers. Enjoy that. Other than that, there's nothing else to say because the Steelers aren't winning anything significant. We already know that. So you can live in your delusions. You're not winning. You're not going to the Super Bowl. You're not beating the Bills or Chiefs in the playoffs. You know this, but live in the delusion in the world you want to live in. The biggest reason is on coaching. Oh, that's the biggest reason is on coaching. When players aren't responding anymore, that means it's time for a head coaching change. Yeah, that's why they should leave. I don't think the game should be held against the coaches. I think that's just a sign that they have to go. But there's nothing wrong. I don't think the coaching staff did anything wrong. I don't think the play calling was bad. I don't think the offense or defense made any mistakes, especially the defense. I don't think the play calling was specifically terrible. I just think these guys are not listening to anything that is being told. They've given up on the coaching. So it's not like the play calling was bad or good. There's nothing to say there. They've given up, so they don't care what the coaches are telling them. Steel's been doing the same thing since 2016, pretty much. I mean, they'll probably do it again this year. Pittsburgh's going to destroy it. Congrats. Does that really matter? I mean, congrats on beating up on this team. I'm pretty sure most Ravens fans want this team to be destroyed if it means Harbaugh gets fired. So congrats on that if that really means much to you. Again, it's a Steelers fan talking trash to a Ravens group of people that don't really care. I mean, we're more focused on our team firing this coach. We care less what Pittsburgh doing. Go win the division and lose in the wild card round to the Bills or Chiefs. We know it's going to happen. Or then again, if you win the division, maybe you get a soft team. Maybe you get a wild card team. Then again, if the Chargers are a wild card team, they'll probably beat you in the wild card round. So just go lose to the Bills or Chiefs, or go lose in the wild card round to the Chargers or something. We know how this story ends for Pittsburgh. There's a reason why you haven't won a playoff game since 2016. You can pretend that this year's different, just like last year was different with Russell Wilson, or in a few years with Ben Roethlisberger still being good is any different. It's the same story for the Steelers every year, just like it's the same story for the Ravens every year. The division is so damn predictable, and we keep acting like this division is any different. Baltimore chokes in the playoffs. Cincinnati can't get to the playoffs. Cleveland's Cleveland. Pittsburgh can't win a playoff game. They haven't done it in a decade. So we know the story, how this ends for everybody here. Yeah, you're not getting the number 1 seed, but keep being delusional. Fans are going to start fighting the mascot in the parking lot. It'd be funny if they do that. It would be funny if they do that. But let's not beat up the mascot for doing that. That's crazy. Yeah, they're junior varsity team frauds. Yeah, we've called them frauds. We've called them trash. We've called them terrible. You're telling us things we've already said about them. Everything you've said, we've said 10 times and more. So you haven't said anything that has changed our minds. We know the team sucks. They're frauds. They're trash. They're crap. You're not adding anything to the conversation, but cool. Pittsburgh's going to run it up on y'all for you. Cool. Do that. Please put up 100 points and allow us to fire a head coach. Please do that. A-Rod's going to put up 6 touchdowns. He can put up 12 touchdowns. If it gets Harbaugh out the door, please put up as many points as you want. Trolling you lose is not even funny anymore. We don't care. Go bother somebody else. We do not give a damn. Please go win the division and lose in the wild card round like you guys always do. Goodbye. It's going to get worse next week because tempers will flare on the sideline. I'm waiting for players to start fighting. I'm really ready for players to start fighting because eventually the tempers are going to rise. Rams are going to have a bye week next week. Dude, Rams are putting up 40 against us. Dude, my Tennessee Titans are far worse than your Baltimore Ravens will ever be. I mean, franchise-wise, yeah. Historically-wise, yes. Right now, the Titans and the Ravens are not that far apart in terms of teams. Both teams are bad right now. Like, if you take Lamar off the team, we're essentially the Titans. We don't do well defensively. We don't do anything well offensively. We're bad all around without Lamar. You're the laughing stock of the league. Cool. We've said that 10 times already. You're just wasting time trolling a group of people that don't care. Like, I know you're trying to troll, but we don't care. Like you have to at least bring something to the table. You're saying things that we've already said about that team. Just wasting your time here. But no, your defense is not as bad as ours. That's the funny part. Your defense is not as bad as ours. This troll in the chat. Dude, he's trolling a team. Like, we've already called the Ravens this 10 times over. He's just trolling because he's got nothing better to do with his night. It don't matter. We'll agree with everything he says. He's just wasting time. Like, bro's trolling like it's gonna matter. You're right, Ken. It's not gonna. It's just trolling and wasting time. Like, we care. We know our team sucks. We know we're bad. We're asking for our head coach to be fired. I hope you guys make the playoffs again so you can keep Mike Tomlin. So when you guys lose in the wild card round again, Mike Tomlin will still keep his job. As long as the Steelers stay over 500, Mike Tomlin's not going anywhere, which means there will never be any real change in Pittsburgh, and you probably won't be winning a championship anytime soon. But I love when we get delusional Steelers fans that think they're going to do anything, because you ran your mouth last year with Russell Wilson, you didn't do anything there. You ran your mouth the year before, didn't do anything. You ran your mouth during the last years of Ben Roethlisberger, and the Browns actually humbled you guys. So you do the same thing every single year. You haven't won a playoff game since 2016, yet you run your mouth every single year once you bring in some old veteran as if that's going to fix the problems. And then when you don't make the Super Bowl, you blame Mike Tomlin, fire Mike Tomlin, yada, yada, yada. You start the cycle over again. Let's see who's going to be the next quarterback for the Steelers after Aaron Rodgers retires, because he's got a year left. We know it's going to be some other old quarterback. Maybe you get Kirk Cousins, right? Kirk Cousins will probably be the next quarterback for you next year, and then you'll be running your mouth about how you're going to go win Super Bowl number 6 for you guys, and then you don't do it, and then you come back and say, fire Mike Tomlin, but everyone's like, well, Mike Tomlin got you a winning record again. So again, it's this endless cycle for the Steelers. Until you guys realize that tanking and getting yourself a quarterback is probably the answer, you're probably not going to do anything significant. But feel free to keep running your mouth, because you know how this ends, just like we know how things end for us. It's not going to change. Nothing's going to change in Pittsburgh. You're going to keep having a winning record under Tomlin. You're not going to get any closer to beating the Chiefs or the Bills in the playoffs. The cycle continues, and then the new quarterback will come in. When Aaron Rodgers is done this year, go get Kirk Cousins and start the cycle over again. I mean, we know how it is. Ravens ain't going anywhere. Steelers ain't going anywhere. Bengals ain't going anywhere. Browns certainly ain't going anywhere. The AFC North, that used to be this fearsome division that was dominant, has turned into garbage, okay? We all want to act like we're better than everybody else. The Chiefs have been kicking everybody's tail in this division for years now. We're not better than the Chiefs or the Bills. Just accept your L and move on. But hey, win the division, lose in the wild card round the way you guys have been doing for the last decade, and move on with your lives. Imagine trolling fans that don't care. These guys got all the time in the world. CJ torched the Ravens today. Pretty much. Everyone knows Cooper Rush was trash except Ravens fans. Everybody knew Cooper Rush was trash. You don't think, again, we're wasting our time with the troll that is saying everything that Ravens fans have said. Every single thing you've said about this team, we've said 10 times over. You're trolling a team that's already said this thing. What are you trolling the fans? We've already said 10 times over. Nobody wanted Cooper Rush to be the backup quarterback. We actively said he's not a good backup. We even said if Lamar got hurt and went down, we're screwed. But again, still, you're just trying to troll because you got nothing better to do with your Sunday, and you're trolling a group of individuals that have said everything you've said. The Ravens are trash. We know. The Ravens stink. We know. The Ravens are fraud. We know. The Ravens aren't going to win the division. We know. Like, you're just saying things we already know. Move on, buddy. They have to fire Harbaugh, man. I can't remember the last time the Ravens got blown out like this. 2017. Funny enough, he was very close to being fired in 2017, but no one speaks about that. Nobody cares about these trolling fans. They're going to cry when it's all said and done. We know how the situation ends for everybody. Shout out to Donovan Carter with a $10 donation. Honestly, Steelers are in a worse spot than we are. They're dancing and celebrating now, but they're going to be stuck in limbo after this season. Ravens at least have a chance that things change in the offseason. Well, if we fire our coaching staff and make changes, we could have a chance to be something. I mean, it's going to be the same story for the Steelers every single time. Nothing's going to change with them. But they'll fall into the delusion because what choice do they have? I don't blame Steelers fans for acting like this and trolling like this. What choice do they have? The Steelers don't tank. They're not getting a new franchise quarterback anytime soon. What other choice do they have than to sit back and troll? Because as long as Mike Tomlin is here, they're going to have a winning record, which means they're never going to be low enough to get themselves a franchise quarterback, and they're going to have to keep signing old has-beens. Once Aaron Rodgers retires, they're going after Kirk Cousins next. They don't have a choice. They did not plan properly for after Ben Roethlisberger, and this is the reality they live in. Until Mike Tomlin's gone, significant changes won't happen because they'll never tank. And because the Steelers don't ever tank, they're never going to get a franchise quarterback. And it's going to be limbo for a long time until they tank and get themselves a franchise quarterback. Or luck out and get one at the end of the first round or something like that. But they've been trying for years since Ben. It hasn't worked out. Yeah, same old. You're cruising, stacking dubs like you were doing last year with Russell Wilson, and we saw how that ended. And you're gonna have the same problems with Aaron Rodgers, and you're gonna lose in the playoffs like you do every year. Yada yada yada. We get it. We are no different than the Steelers. We're actually worse than the Steelers right now. Um, I mean, Steelers aren't gonna win. They know they're not gonna win. Shout out to Josh with the $5 donation. All right, let's say it really is the end of Harbs. Do we trust Steve and company to get somebody better? That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know. Because it comes down to the front office and who they choose to put here. But it all comes down to how we look at this organization. Have they truly lost that prestige of being a top class organization? Because I've seen a lot of people talk about, well, if you move off of John, who do you go to? You can't move off of him. This used to be viewed as a top class organization. They fired head coach, Super Bowl winning head coach Brian Billick, excuse me. They fired Brian Billick and took a chance on John Harbaugh. It worked out for them. You have to at least trust that the front office would at least be able to go find somebody. People said this offense was never going to improve and they wouldn't find somebody after Greg Roman. They got Todd Monken, and we've seen what this offense has been doing. You have to trust that the front office will be able to figure things out and get somebody in there after Hardball. If they were able to move off of Brillick to get Hardball, you have to assume they can at least be able to do that. But it depends on how we trust them. But that's a very good question. I don't know if we can trust these guys to fully find somebody better. And I don't know if they will find somebody better, but they'll find somebody different. And maybe right now they just need something different because they have a lot of talent. Maybe they just need something different. Maybe they need a different voice. Maybe they need a different culture in there. You guys still have far more talent than my Titans. Talent don't mean nothing. We're wasting it right now. And John Harbaugh's still a much better coach than Brian Callahan. Harbaugh's not really that much different right now. Have you seen what John Harbaugh's been doing with this amount of talent? Nothing. Plus, you guys have Lamar. The only thing that you said in that situation that we have, the only massive advantage we have in this situation, Mason, is that we have Lamar and you don't. That's it. But speaking about this immense amount of talent, they haven't done anything, and most of them are even hurt. And speaking about coaching, John Harbaugh has not done anything well coaching at all. He doesn't even coach. He just leaves it to his coordinators. He's supposed to be a leader of men, but he can't lead a team to do anything significant. He's not on the tier of Shanahan or McVay or any of those guys. Bill's about to lose, so he rides in the standings without even playing. I mean, that's cool. You know how the season's going to end for you guys. But again, keep pretending and living in the world of delusion. Then get mad and yell for Tomlin to get fired when things don't go your way. We know how this works, Steelers fans. Just like Ravens fans talk all that trash in the regular season just to get beat in the playoffs. We know our roles. Let's just know your role and stick to what you do. Get right when you lose in the playoffs, it's cool. All right? You know what your role is. You know what your role is. All right? You know what your role is, bro. You're going to lose in the playoffs. Just accept it. Get ready to blame Mike Tomlin the whole 9 yards. You know your role. Know your role and stick to it. Enjoy the last year of Aaron Rodgers and get ready for Kirk Cousins next year. You're not winning anything this year, but keep being delusional. Bro, change your background is triggering. I can't because it's a perfect representation of what this video is about. The team being a broken unit. These guys are the primary reason why it's a broken unit. Cooper was trash in the preseason. We knew he was trash. We knew he was trash. Neither are the Bengals. We're in the same boat. Yeah, the whole division's just garbage right now. Just terrible. Did Josh Allen get picked off? Yeah, Josh Allen just threw a pick. Why the hell is he collapsing against the Patriots of all people? What the hell are you doing, Josh? I have a Steelers fan on my Facebook doing the same thing. Let them be delusional. Then when the team loses the wild card round, they'll call for Tomlin's job like they do every year. I'm willing to accept a year of failure if it means the potential to cause change. Many people expect that. Russ is a massive overpay as well. Yeah, we didn't want Cooper Rush. We didn't ask for Cooper Rush. We didn't believe in Cooper Rush. We got Cooper Rush. It wasn't our choice. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, your teams will exit the division round in January. I don't even know if they're gonna get to the divisional round. They thought Kenny Pickett was it. Dude, they thought Kenny Pickett was it. They thought Duck Hodges was it. They thought a lot of people were in. They didn't really plan for life after Tomlin, and that's what they're paying for what they're dealing with right now. Um, Tomlin over Harbaugh doesn't really make much of a difference. This Cotium them sucks to lose. Yeah, I mean, you're free to continue to be delusional as much as you want. It's not going to change anything. Y'all are not going to win. I'm not gonna lie. Like y'all not gonna do anything. We know y'all not. You know it. I know it. The world knows it. We know you're gonna fail in the playoffs like you've been doing for the last decade. That's why you haven't won a playoff game since 2016. Just like we know, even if we make the playoffs, we're going to choke. We know our role. You should know your role. But you want to keep being delusional, so I respect it. Just don't come crying and whining and complaining about Mike Tomlin like you guys always like to do every time you lose in the playoff game. So when you lose in the playoffs, please don't blame Tomlin again because you like to do this again. You guys do this every year. You lose and then blame Mike Tomlin. And then you go get a new quarterback. So when you get Kirk Cousins here next year, he'll be the savior until he's not. I think Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, the only coach in the league that hasn't adapted to today's league. Ain't gonna change anything. Baltimore frauds. Yeah, continue to troll. I mean, Pittsburgh's in the same position, but continue to troll. I mean, you got nothing better to do with your Sunday. I'm all for moving on from Harb. I'm just trying to decide. My expectations with Lamar. It should be optimism. Again, once you move on from this coaching staff, you could look to retool this. It's not like you're just gonna fall in contention automatically. If you could get a good coach in here and change the culture, you still have plenty of talent. It just seems like the coaching staff is the issue right now. Having more talent is what makes it even worse. That's fair. There's a foul stench in this organization. There's a lot of things wrong with this organization. Time for a new O-line and coaches. There's time for a lot of new things. Can't stand when my fellow Steelers fans come and troll like we somehow better than just as bad. All they do is run their mouths, okay? All they do is run their mouths. Let these delusional Steelers fans run their mouths because they'll be the same fans crying for Tomlin to get fired when they ultimately fail in the playoffs. We already know it's going to happen. They're going to continue to run their mouths in the regular season. They did this last year with Russell Wilson. Then they called for Russell Wilson to not come back. We should have stuck with Justin Fields. We should have had him. He had the team of 4-2. They do the same thing every single time. They blame Mike Tomlin. They look at the quarterback and say he's not it, and they move on to next year. When the same situation happens with Aaron Rodgers, they'll be begging for him to retire. We know how this is going to work with some Steelers fans. Let the delusional Steelers fans like this guy continue to be delusional. They'll be the biggest ones crying at the end of the year and calling for Tomlin's job when they ultimately fall short. We know how this is going to go. So, again, let this guy continue to run his mouth because that's all he can do. When his team ultimately loses, he'll be the first one saying, Mike Tomlin's got to be fired because that's what delusional Steelers fans always say. Josh Allen's overrated. That's not my problem. That's Buffalo's problem. I really just want this season to be over so we can finally get some change. Even if the season ended, I still don't think they're going to fire Harbaugh and this crew. Past the copium. Again, the Steelers fans just running his mouth, and he's going to be saying the same thing over and over again when the Steelers ultimately lose in the wild card round. I love when Steelers fans want to troll and act like they're this mighty superior team, knowing damn well they won't do anything in the playoffs. That's why the realistic Steelers fans, they'll sit back and say, I'm going to enjoy the moment, hope for the best, but I know this team's probably not going to do anything come playoff time. Like, at least the realistic fans don't sit there and act delusional like this. The delusional fans will run their mouth, and they'll be the loudest one crying when this team doesn't deliver in the postseason once again. We know how things are going to go. We're not shocked. I enjoy watching the old Ravens, yes, but I'm a fan of football before I'm a fan of my Steelers. Don't worry about this person. Hey, somebody check on... no one even worry about this dude come January. He'll be crying the way Steelers fans always cry when they lose. Oh, that's a great catch. That's a great catch for a first down. So anyway, back to this. I just wanted to finish these comments. If Tomlin was the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, they would be playing better than what the Ravens are playing now. Debatable, but I think it's relatively fair because I think Tomlin's biggest problems, other than him being terrible at clock management, his biggest issue is always trying to manage the locker room in terms of egos and personalities. But Pittsburgh had a lot of character issues. Baltimore doesn't have character issues with the players they have. So maybe he would do a better job here. Who knows? Anyway, the Ravens are a broken unit. The Ravens are a broken unit right now. I don't exactly know where they go from here because I don't believe they're going to fire anybody in the coaching staff. Harbaugh will again talk to the media tomorrow and act like everything is okay and give us the generic. We gotta fix this. We gotta fix that. We gotta fix this. We gotta fix that. We gotta be better than this. The same generic crap that he spews out in his press conference every single day. He'll do that. He spewed it out today. He'll spew it out tomorrow. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to improve. Nothing's going to evolve or upgrade. The team stinks. Looks like they've given up on the coaching staff, and the coaching staff is not going anywhere. So again, I just look towards Lamar. I mean, like this is his franchise. I look towards Lamar. He has all the power in the world. He's the one talking about being more vocal. This is the time to be more vocal, my guy. Hey, if John Harbaugh collapses so bad that you guys get a high pick, do you know what you might do with it? I'd like either an edge rusher or a kid. Dude, I want an offense. Like, build in the trenches. Build in the trenches. Either fix the O line or fix the D line. That's it. The draft just needs to be focused on building the trenches because our trenches are so damn soft. Why should we care if they don't care? Hey, I've been telling fans not to go to the games, but people are they're gonna do what they do. But what was I saying? Sorry, I was in the middle of text, and I got a homegirl that's a Steelers fan, and I was just letting her know that the division is hers to take. Like I'm letting her know right now, the Steelers got it. Like we concede, we don't want to move forward with this coaching staff, and if we gotta miss the playoffs in order for these guys to go away, we got it. So I'm letting her know that Steelers taking the division, but they ain't gonna do anything with it. Keeping it real, you're a real one. Thanks for the hustle. I appreciate that, Jack. I just do what I can. Um, but yeah, it's just I want to build in the trenches if we could. And my quarterback Cam Ward was vocal, and everyone got on him for being too honest. Well, the difference is Cam Ward's a rookie, and Lamar is the franchise. Cam Ward is a rookie, and I appreciate him doing that. I wish he would do more of that. And people are gonna get on his case because he's a rookie that's not playing well right now. But Cam Ward's a rookie. Lamar is the face of this franchise, so technically he can say whatever he wants. And not to mention, I'm not saying that Lamar has to be actively vocal in the media. What I'm saying is Lamar should be more vocal towards the front office, towards the GM, towards the owner. Be vocal about the issues. Demand change or don't sign your extension. Lamar Jackson has to get an extension because he is due $74 million next year. Next season, the Ravens are due to pay Lamar $74 million. That's why they need to get an extension done. If they do not get an extension done, they have to pay him $74 million. So an extension has to happen. But why would Lamar sign an extension with the way the team looks right now? That's why all the cards are in his hands. And Lamar does not negotiate contracts during the regular season. So my thing is, he has the opportunity to put the pressure on these guys. Demand change, or he's not signing an extension. That's what he should do. He has the power to do this. He really does. I saw fans booing Harbaugh. I don't blame them. I do not blame them at all. Backup quarterback's not good. Honestly, they should have just played Tyler Huntley. I don't care if he doesn't know the offense. Again, it was the right call technically to play Cooper Rush because he knows the offense. but Tyler Huntley can at least make those extra plays. So you probably could have just gone with Tyler Huntley over Cooper Rush. But they went with what they went with, and it wasn't the worst choice, but Cooper Rush just sucks. Let's see here. This is the 10th anniversary of Gundam. Oh, I did not realize that. I gotta watch a lot of Gundam stuff. I should probably look to go do that. Stephon Diggs is cooking his former team right now. He's doing a great job out here. Stephon Diggs wanted to play well against his former team. He's been doing so. And look at this, man. They're at the goal line again. The Patriots got a chance to really beat the Buffalo Bills. Dude, I think, oh my God, bro. Are the Bills the last undefeated team? Because Philadelphia lost today. If the Bills are the last undefeated team, this is going to be crazy if they lose to the Patriots. At that point, through 5 weeks, there will be no more undefeated teams. And everyone's going to look at the season like, what is happening? Nobody can be trusted in the AFC at this point, other than Kansas City. Kansas City's earned the benefit of the doubt. Ravens are out. Bills, defense still stinks. They'll probably lose to Kansas City. Steelers, no one believes in them. They're not doing anything come January. Chargers, they're collapsing in front of us. Denver, they have the talent. I mean, they got the capability, but it comes down to Bo Nix and how much he could take that step. Man, the AFC is just a mess. AFC is just a mess. But I don't think the Bills are going to lose this game. I do not believe the Bills are going to lose this game. I have to believe that they're going to win. I think the Bills are going to win. I don't know if the Bills are going to win. I don't know. If they score a touchdown here, if they score a touchdown, it's 20-10. There's 12 minutes left in the game. There's still plenty of time for Buffalo to go down the field and score a touchdown. Stephon Diggs right now is cooking this team. He said, I'm coming to Buffalo and I'm beating them. He just wants to prove a point. If the Buffalo Bills lose to the Patriots, that's going to be a huge that'll be a huge statement win for the Patriots. I'll have to talk about this. Oh my God, this defense is trash. Touchdown. Buffalo, we got to have a conversation. Your defense stinks. You're not beating Kansas City with this defense. They stink. Get it together. Malachi Starks looks bad. He's a rookie surrounded by this mess. I don't think he can thrive in this environment because nobody really looks good on this defense. No rookie's thriving in the environment where everything is chaotic right now. John Harbaugh is so bad at it right at Brian Billick. Brian Billick wasn't even that bad. It's just Brian Billick tore. Brian Billick didn't have half the talent Harbaugh had, and he still got fired for half the things Harbaugh has done. That's unfair. That's unfair. I'm sorry Brian Billick couldn't make it work with Kyle Baller in that offense. Who did he have? John Harbaugh has freaking Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the backfield, and you gave Brian Billick freaking Kyle Baller in a year of an older Steve McNair. Like, come on. Let's be fair. I get it. He did have those Hall of Fame defenses, so he does get that advantage. But you gave him nothing to work with at quarterback. Yes. You had Jamal for a while until he was gone. Yes. You had Todd Heap. Yes. You had something competent on the offense, but you never gave him a quarterback to work with. That's unfair. John Harbaugh's had Lamar for years and can't get it done. Brian Billick got it. I mean, again, John Harbaugh got it done with Joe Flacco. That's cool. But I'm just saying, this man has had a lot more talent to work with than Brian Billick has done on the offensive side. It's not fair. And it's not like John Harbaugh didn't have the defensive side because he had the Ravens defense with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs. He had them from 2008 to 2012. And he won a Super Bowl with that. So good on him. I'm just saying, with the amount of talent John Harbaugh's had during his tenure with the Ravens, compare that to the amount of talent Brian Billick's worked with. Brian Billick hasn't had half the amount of talent Harbaugh's worked with, and he hasn't done half the things John Harbaugh's done in terms of mistakes. Yet he got fired and Harbaugh's still here 18 years later. Crazy. Lamar is the face of the franchise right now. I love the guy. I want him to stay despite the franchise doing him wrong. Yeah, Stephon Diggs is cooking right now. And Tyler Huntley could have used his legs and do something. Predict the Super Bowl, I'm sorry for that. Predict the Super Bowl. Chiefs, Eagles. I'm so sorry I said Ravens and Super Bowl in the same. I wasn't meaning that. I saw something here about the Ravens as I was reading his comments so fast. Predict the Super Bowl. Kilo. Chiefs, Eagles. Book it. Chiefs, Eagles. The Lions going to do something to mess it up and it's going to piss me off. Or injuries are going to happen in the second half to ruin their chance. Don't trust the Packers because I don't trust Jordan Love. Who else in that conference? I don't think the Commanders are ready yet, but I hope they prove me wrong. I think the Commanders are going to make the playoffs, but I don't know if they can beat the Eagles in the playoffs. That's my thing. They can beat everybody else in the playoffs but the Eagles. So I don't know. I just think the Eagles right now, they're just going to go back-to-back. I think they're strong enough that they can go back to back. AFC, it's going to be Kansas City because nobody else is competent enough in this conference. It's going to be Kansas City. It's going to be Chiefs, Eagles again in the Super Bowl. And nobody's going to be surprised. Nobody will be surprised. Chiefs, Eagles, easy money. I'm watching the Bills and Patriots game. It's making me so upset. These dudes looking great against the Bills. They looking like they're going to be 3-2, and we sitting at 1-4. We are the worst team in the NFL. We're probably not going to be able to beat the Patriots, honestly. They'll probably beat us this year. I just don't think Bo Nix is that guy right now. Yeah, which is exactly why I don't fully trust the Broncos either. It's a mess right now. That's why the Chiefs are going to win this conference again. Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl once again. Everyone will be bored. Lions get their first Super Bowl this season. Don't trust the Lions. I don't trust the Lions. Something about Detroit in some of these games against the NFC teams, I don't trust them. But guess what? Lions-Eagles matchup this year. We'll see how that matchup goes. I'll take Philly over Detroit until they prove me wrong. Lions going to get sent home by Jane Daniels again. That'd be lovely. Rams 57, Ravens 13 next week. Dude, put it more like 67. I mean, they are not stopping Cooper Rush and Devontae Adams to save their lives. So I'd say 67 over 57. Harbaugh inherited that defense. He sure did inherit that defense. Yeah, the Bills are on attack mode right now. They're already at midfield. They know they got to get their crap together. They can't lose to the freaking Patriots. Chiefs, Eagles, no brainers, absolutely. Bills will lose to the Chiefs again like they always do. With this defense, they absolutely will. This means New England better than the Ravens. The New England Patriots are a better coached team than the Ravens by far. How about Mark Andrews? People are virtually done with him. Did you see the freaking he was freaking fumbling the ball, which led to an interception? People are done with Mark Andrews right now. Chiefs first 7th seed in the Super Bowl. Chiefs are not going to be a 7th seed. They're going to probably win this division if the Chargers keep choking. Bo Nix is actually half bad. I think he's better than Herbert. He's not better than Herbert. Fire Mike McDaniel. They lost to Bryce Young in Carolina. The Dolphins are cooked, and they'll find a way to beat us because everyone gets red against the Ravens. Anyway, guys, it's time to call it a night. I would love to keep this train going, but I just wanted to give my brief thoughts in regards to where the Ravens are right now. I wanted to speak about them being a broken unit. I did that. I only wanted to do an hour today, specifically because we have our Week 5 therapy session tomorrow. And we're going to be doing that for a while. I don't know how long the therapy session is going to go for tomorrow, but we're going to have a lot to talk about. So I need to give you guys 24 hours to deal with this, especially because tomorrow you'll be getting the press conference and John Harbaugh running his mouth the same way he does, saying a whole bunch of nothing. So I'm going to give you guys about 24 hours. Not really 24 hours, but you know. I'm going to give you guys time to digest today and move on and see how you feel after you sleep and wake up. So we'll be here tomorrow for the therapy session. We will be here tomorrow for the therapy session. What do you think the Ravens' record would be by the end of the season? At this pace, they're going 5-12 or 6-11. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here, guys. I'm okay. Pacific time. Keep the stream going till the end of this game. I'm not gonna lie. I got some things I gotta take care of, so it's not like I can be here for long. I would love to, but I only plan to do an hour specifically because we have to do the therapy session tomorrow. If I wasn't doing the therapy session tomorrow, I could push what I have to do right now later on, and I would just like be here past 12 o'clock. But because we're doing the therapy session tomorrow, and there's a lot of stuff we're going to cover in the therapy sessions, because the therapy sessions are usually 2+ hours. We go to, I think what was it, week 4 therapy session was like 2.5 hours? Let me see. They can win 5 games? Yeah, I mean, if they get Lamar back, they'll win 5 games. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Our last therapy session, week 4, lasted like 2.5 hours. Let me see. Yeah, our dude, it lasted over 2.5 hours. The Ravens' week 4 therapy session lasted over 2.5 hours. So because of that, I know the therapy session is where we're gonna get everything out. So I let it slide. That's why I don't do too much on the nightly aspect. If this was a game I really cared about, I'd lean more into like commentating over the game as opposed to doing this. And I wasn't even supposed to go live tonight, but I wanted to speak briefly on this before the therapy session. I wanted to speak my piece about this team being a broken unit. So that's the case. What time tomorrow? It's probably going to be somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock. It's probably going to be either, it's probably going to be in the middle of Monday Night Football. So somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock is when the week 5 therapy session will happen. So somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock. I'm leaning more towards the 9 o'clock aspect, maybe 9:30ish. But yeah, between 9 and 10 o'clock tomorrow is when our week 5 therapy session will occur. We'll probably be going on for like 2.5 hours, maybe close to 3. I don't know. The therapy session can go chaotic because y'all always have a lot to say. I end up having a lot to say. A lot of emotions are showcased there. A lot of frustrations are being showcased there. It's an emotional aspect. When the Ravens win, the therapy session is like 45 minutes an hour. But when we lose, it's 2+ hours. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go for tonight. Thank you so much for pulling up for this brief stream. And guys, get yourself some rest and enjoy the rest of your night and get yourself comfortable because I know tomorrow you guys are going to come out firing, especially because Harbaugh's going to have his press conference tomorrow. It's going to piss off a bunch of people. And we know for a fact Harbaugh won't be fired. Neither will Zachary Orr. So since those two things are going to happen, everybody's going to come with the heat when it comes to the week 5 therapy session. So I already know how things are going to go. We nearly went 3 hours last time. We may go 3 hours this time. Who knows? But I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for tuning in as the Bills are about to score here. But thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys pulling up to this brief stream. And I'm going to head on out of here just as Josh Allen heads to the end zone. They actually came up close, but he's not there yet. So I'll talk to you guys later. Good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for the therapy session. It should be a good one. We'll probably start the therapy session with like 20 minutes of anime talk because I know y'all definitely need it. We'll see how things go. With that being said, guys, be sure to stay safe and peace out.